What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Guy on the Couch Sports. I'm your host, Guy on the Couch. Before we get started, I'd like to give a huge shout out to the Ukrainian people, especially President Zelensky. This man is leading the battlefield like a true leader should. Stay strong, y'all. Stay strong. All right. Now let's get back to the game tonight. So tonight, our Leafs are back in Detroit. And the last time they played in Detroit, they almost lost, if not for a miraculous third period where they scored 5 goals, y'all. 5 goals to come back and win 7-4. The team did not have it that night, but they found a way to win that game. So tonight, I'm hoping that they don't have to do that. Instead, come out ready to go and take it to the Red Wings right away. That's what I want to see. Jack Campbell is back in net tonight, by the way. Am I okay with that? Sure, I guess. I got no control over it. Personally speaking, I would have thought Mrazek, being the fact that, he won his last game for us in convincing fashion, too. He played really well that game. I thought Mrazek would have got a second straight start. But because the Leafs are playing in Jack's hometown of Michigan, I guess Sheldon's trying to tug at the heartstrings here and hoping this can motivate Jack into getting back to his winning ways. Maybe. We'll see tonight. Again, my call would have been to play Mrazek. Jack's already played at home this year. And Jack's going to have plenty of opportunities in the future to play at home. I just want to see wins. We'll see if the Leafs can do that tonight, though. Matthews comes in red hot again. After scoring a couple of goals against Columbus on Thursday, he lit up the Minnesota Wild with a couple of beauties. This kid has actually scored 77 goals now in 100 games. Let that sink in for a second. 77 goals in his last 100 games. That's simply incredible to me. And as a Leaf fan, I am more than happy that he's a Leaf. Beauty. Anyways, Florida lost today. So that's awesome. Leafs now have I believe they have a game in hand now, which will be played tonight. So win tonight puts us about 3 points behind Florida. Edmonton did us a huge solid today. That excites me. So hopefully we can get a nice win tonight. I don't want to see no sloppy game being played by the Leafs. By the way, have you noticed since Hall and Muzzin have been out of the lineup, the Leafs defense hasn't looked as trash? I'm not saying it was all those two players, but right now you're not getting that awful defending or players holding on to pucks in the D zone for that extra amount of time, causing turnovers. We're not seeing that as much right now. They're getting the puck and they're getting it out of the zone. That's it. Plain and simple. When you get the puck, get it to the forwards, get it out. You're good. And we're seeing that a lot better now with those two out of the lineup. Now the Leafs roster currently isn't feeling that well. There's some sickness, stomach sickness apparently, going through the roster. So some might not play tonight and are possibly game time decisions. You got Tavares, Engvall, Mikheyev's feeling good again, so it seems. And Travis Dermott apparently might not be in the lineup tonight. Big loss. Tavares would be a big loss. Engvall, meh. Dermott, meh. I don't care, but it is what it is. So Matthews right now, currently, back to him because he's a stud, is on pace to score more than the 47 goals he scored last year. That's pretty insane. But enough of Matthews. You know he does what he does. Kid's good, right? Enough of that. The Red Wings last game, they lost 5-2 to Colorado. Obviously, it's expected. I believe they took a 2-0 lead early in that game, or they gave up. I don't know. I didn't even watch that game. It is what it is. They lost. That's all that matters. Anyways, so the Leafs have won their first 2 meetings versus the Red Wings. One, I believe, was 5-4 victory early in October, way back when. And the last one, obviously, like I said earlier, 7-4 victory on January 29th. Nick Robertson's playing tonight. I didn't realize this, but this is Nick Robertson's first game in an NHL arena where there's going to be fans. So in a way, this is more like his true NHL debut. That's exciting. Nick Robertson's one of those guys that I think is just flying under the radar right now because he's had so much freak injuries. I think a lot of Leaf fans have kind of forgotten about him. But it kind of reminds me of Liljegren, where at the beginning of his career, he kept getting injured and whatnot. And we thought, man, was this a wasted draft pick maybe? But now look at Timmy. Timmy's in the lineup now. And he's actually contributing. Makes mistakes. Yeah, he fucks up from time to time. But that's expected from a kid that's just starting out. That, at least from me, that's what I expect that. Come back to me 4 years from now, and I might have a different story. You know, that's when, like, it's like how I'm feeling about Dermott right now. 4 years ago, I would have been like, Travis is just starting out his career. He's learning his ways around the rink, of an NHL rink, right? He's learning how to play the game at the NHL level. So some things that happen, you let it slide. But now Travis has been around, and he's still fucking up. I'm not too happy about that. I mean, how many more years does this kid need to get his shit together? And in doing so, it's cost the team games. If you can remember, it cost him a playoff game. All right? Ultimately, ended up in a playoff series loss. So those fuck-ups, you know, in an 82-game season, okay, yeah, you can live with those. But when it actually matters, you can't be having those. So talk to me about Liljegren in about 4 years, and we'll see how he's doing then. Let's take a look at the stats here quickly. As you can see how the two teams compare. Leafs are 33-14-4 now. Detroit's 23-6. At home, Detroit's 15-10-3. And on the road, Leafs are 14-9-3. It's looking good for the Leafs. It's been looking good for the Leafs all year long. Unfortunately, lately, it doesn't matter whether it looks good or not. Let's see the two teams' last 5 games here. As you can see, Detroit lost 5-2 to Colorado. They beat the Rangers 3-2, but lost to Minnesota 7-4. They beat Philly twice. There you go. The Leafs, on the other hand, just beat Minnesota 3-1. Lost to Columbus. Lost to Montreal. Lost to St. Louis. And beat Pittsburgh 4-1. That's what their last 5 games have looked like. Not really anything impressive. Now, head-to-head stats, team-wise, Detroit scoring 2.8 per game. Leafs 3.5. Leafs are giving up 2.8 per game. Detroit's giving up 3.5. All right? Those two teams are night and day here. Ultimately, the Leafs, again, they're not feeling that well tonight, so maybe this might be a tougher matchup for them than it normally should. but I'm hoping the boys can pull through, sick or not. You still got some guys that are feeling good. You still got your leaders on the team that are feeling good. So hopefully they can get that win tonight here. Detroit's not that good of a team, but you just never know in the NHL. Bad refereeing can just cost you a game at times too. So here are the stats leaders, player stats here for both Detroit and Toronto. Dylan Larkin leads the way here for Detroit. Kid's playing well as always. Leads with 54 points. Moritz Seider, did I say that name correct? Moritz Seider. He leads Red Wings with 22 minutes on ice. And Nedeljkovic, I think that's his name, right? He's their starting goaltender, 14 wins. Jack, 23 wins. Morgan, 24 minutes of ice. Maddie, of course, leading the way with 64 points here. And 36 goals, who is now tied, by the way, with Leon Draisaitl, who scored today against Florida. So they're both tied at 36 right now. Ultimately, I'm pretty sure, Maddie's just going to blow away Leon at the end of the year. I really hope he can hit 50. I think he should hit 50. He's on pace for at least 61. That would be freaking amazing to see. Like, I want to see. I don't believe in my time have ever seen a Leaf score 50 goals or more. I think the closest was Tavares at 46. Well, before Matthews hit 47 last year. Matthews would have done it 2 years ago had it not been for the shutdown. And I think that's about it. I don't think I've ever come close to seeing anybody hit 50. I wasn't a Leaf fan when Rick Vaive did it, so that doesn't matter to me. I wasn't into hockey at that point in time. But since I've been watching hockey since the early 90s, I don't recall a Leaf ever hitting 50 goals. So this would be an achievement for me, my hockey journey, one that would really excite me. Fortunate for me, though, I did come in at a time when I was able to see the Leafs get to conference finals, make deep playoff runs. So I've enjoyed those deep playoff runs, not like, the last decade of kids 2 decades or so who haven't really enjoyed the deep playoff runs, haven't seen any. Thank goodness for, the early 90s for me and early 2000s. Anyways, looking forward to the game tonight. I'll see you guys after the game. Hopefully I'm in a good mood again. I'm going to get really pumped up if they win that game tonight. We'll talk. Make sure you're with me, all right? Stick with me here. We'll talk after the game tonight. Have a good night, folks. Guy on the Couch Sports. I'm out.